Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I want us to do a critical analysis of William Ruto's visit to Homabay County today. And I'm going to break it into 5 parts. I'm going to look at the reception. How was William Ruto received in Homabay? Then I'm going to look at the seating arrangements, because from the seating arrangements, you can really tell a lot. I'm also going to look at Raila Odinga's strategy. The fourth thing I'm going to look at is the speeches. What can we pick from a few speeches there? And lastly, I'm also going to look at the presence of Rigathi Gachagua during that particular visit. Before we do that, for those who are watching the channel for the first time, please take a second or two, press that subscribe button, so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. Let us begin and let us look at the reception. How was William Ruto received in Homabay, in your opinion? For me, it was a befitting reception. William Ruto was received by close to 20 elected members of parliament, senators, and governors. Actually, I counted 16. The entire county assembly of Homabay was also present. The governor for Homabay was present. The governor for Migori was present. The governor for Kisumu was not present, although I'm sure he's likely to receive William Ruto later in Kisumu. The governor for Siaya was missing. Probably he's still on the ground because Ruto will be going to Siaya tomorrow. So if you ask me, William Ruto was received well in Nyanza. Apart from the elected leaders, there were several former governors. Actually, all former governors were present. The former governor for Homabay, Cyprian Awiti, was present. The former governor for Migori, Obado Kotobado, was there. The former governor for Kisumu, Jack Nungorangoma, was there. And who else? I didn't see Rasanga there. I didn't see Rasanga. But in short, William Ruto was received. The ground was well mobilized. And you could even feel the atmosphere of leadership. And credit for me goes to Gladys Wanga as the governor. There were attempts by people like Kidero to hijack the event. But being a presidential event, it was not possible. And because Gladys Wanga had the opportunity as the host to lead the program, he gifted William Ruto a cow, which is significant. He also gave William Ruto a 20 kg, is it 20 or 200 kg fish, which is also important. He also gave Ruto ile kofia ya Gor Mahia, which is also historic because, Gor Mahia has history in Ndewa and Homabay in general. So for me, William Ruto was well received in Homabay. I'll be waiting to look at how he's going to be received in Siaya. Of course, the other former leaders were also present. Former members of parliament, Agustino Neto, I saw Ken Obura, and others were there. So that's the first thing. The other important thing was the seating arrangement. Why is seating arrangement important? Normally, when someone wants to play some games, then seating arrangements is normally arranged in a way that sends those messages. From today's seating arrangement, it was clear that William Ruto wanted to make the event presidential. There was no protocol which was broken. Let me just take you through the seating arrangement the way I saw it. I'll go to Gladys Wanga's page and pick up a photo. If you look at Gladys Wanga's page, at the Homabay Municipal Market. Ruto was seated there. To his left was Gladys Wanga, the host governor. The next was Uchilo Ayako, the governor for Homabay. That's clear protocol. Then the next one was the senator for Homabay, Moses Kajwang. Then Bensouda, women rep. That's basically how protocol is supposed to be. Then you go next, Cyprian Aweti, the former governor. Then from there, members of parliament. The host member of parliament, I think, was not here. To William Ruto's right, there was his deputy, Rigathi Gachagua. Then there was the cabinet secretary for lands, was here. Then next to him was Eliud Owalo. Then I think some other members of parliament were also from that side going forward. In fact, up to Owalo, there is Mochogu, the cabinet secretary for education from Kisii. Then member of parliament for Nyando going that direction. So for me, the sitting arrangement was well organized. Nobody sat where he was not supposed to sit. I was expecting to spot the photo of Kidero. I was expecting to spot the photos of those who used to walk around with Eliud Owalo. And it's my hope that they've really learned their lesson the hard way today. The third thing which I want to look at is Raila Odinga's strategy. Because remember, there were the debate whether Raila Odinga allies should attend William Ruto's functions or not. Raila Odinga, in his wisdom, during one of their strategy meetings last year, agreed that ODM leaders should join William Ruto whenever he is. And for me, this strategy has worked for Raila Odinga and Azimio. Remember how Gladys Wanga was really clobbered when she failed to receive Ruto, when Ruto went to pray in Homabay. What this strategy has done is that, number one, it has locked out rebels. Assuming these ODM leaders had boycotted this event, people like my former governor Ranguma, people like Evans Kidero, those rebels would have actually taken advantage of this situation, and they would be blaming Raila Odinga, they would be blaming any other person. So rebels were actually locked out because they don't have a platform. You know, when you are elected, then you have a platform. Then it also averted blame games, so that when Ruto's term in office will come to an end, for example, and he made promises to the people of Nyanza and nothing happened, nobody would blame the opposition. For example, if, the fish market project will stall after 5 years, then it won't be blamed, because Ruto is good at blaming people. He won't blame Raila, he won't blame the opposition for stopping him. Remember the last time how he was explaining the situation of Nyayo Stadium in Kisumu, where he used to claim that because of the opposition government, you know, they were unable to actually identify land, you know. So those kind of stories will not be there. Nobody will actually blame Raila Odinga for stopping his people from working with government, because that's a narrative which some people had already begun. And then it will also open an opportunity or a window for working together. I'm sure from this, tomorrow in Siaya, more leaders will join. That's the fact. And when you will be in Kisumu, more leaders will also join. Basically, it means William Ruto will now give room for working relationship, which might even end up with Raila Odinga, in my view, which is very important. I just saw William Ruto in a meeting with elected leaders from Homabay, where the leaders presented him with what they want for the region. So William Ruto will not have any excuse, and I'm looking at an opportunity for these leaders to now work directly with government. Now let us look at the fourth thing, which is the speeches. Now, if you listen to Gladys Wanga's speech, she was very categorical that for them, they are Azimio, but they love Ruto, and therefore Ruto should come more, which is important. If you listen to Rigathi Gachagua talking after Gladys Wanga, Rigathi Gachagua was also very clear that Gladys amesema baba ni wenu. Baba is also ours. And since you are watu wa baba, it means nyinyi ni watu wetu. So Rigathi Gachagua also for the first time in his speech was respectful. I want to say that I've never seen Rigathi Gachagua respectful to Raila Odinga. I've never. So this was the first time. William Ruto in his speech was also the same. And he gave an example, for example, how he was in Gishu County, gave Raila Odinga 28%, how Nyeri gave Raila 28%, and how Nyanza gave him 1%. Is it 2%? And he was like, he told them that, niliwambia mkifanya hivyo nitawastaki kwa Mungu. And people are actually enjoying him, that Nabi anastaki watu wa Homabay. So basically the speeches had a message for the people that elections are over and therefore it's about work. Now let us look at the presence. And by the way, on speeches, assuming Raila Odinga team were absent, do you think William Ruto or Rigathi Gachagua would have spoken the way they spoke? I don't think so. So let us go to the last section, or the last part, which is Rigathi Gachagua's presence. Why do you think Rigathi Gachagua decided to join Ruto in Homabay? Because according to program, Rigathi Gachagua is supposed to be in Kisumu on Monday. That was the program. But all of a sudden, Rigathi Gachagua decided to come. Why do you think he was coming? For me, I'm looking at it from different ways. Maybe number one, Rigathi Gachagua thought that this is an opportunity for Ruto to interact and maybe meet leaders from Nyanza and discuss certain things, and therefore he wanted to be present. And of course, during meeting with the Homabay leaders, Rigathi Gachagua was right there. I also want to think that Rigathi Gachagua came because he realized that Musalia Mudavadi was not going to come. And I'm looking at the 2032 politics playing out. Rigathi Gachagua believes Ruto will win the presidency again, and that in 2032 he will be able to run for the presidency. And by running for the presidency, it would mean that he will need the support of Nyanza. Remember, Rigathi Gachagua believes that because people are calling him Rigi G, he's one of the biggest gifts ever from God to Kenya. So I'm looking at the presence of Rigathi Gachagua in those particular aspects. I don't know what you think, but I'll also be waiting to hear from my sources the kind of phone call Ruto will be placing to Raila Odinga tonight. Because Ruto will be in Raila Odinga's home turf tomorrow. Probably during that visit, you never know. Ruto might decide to branch in Opoda and have lunch or dinner. You never know. But again, let me just tell the Kikuyus that based on the way William Ruto has been received in Homabay, he's going to love Nyanza. That's the way Uhuru did. If you guys are not careful, let me repeat, if the people of the mountain are not careful, the people of Nyanza will win Ruto and they'll keep him in the lake as you hunt in the mountain. Bye-bye, guys.